if you Google me, I'm the guy that got arrested for exercising in Central Park, quote unquote, before it opened. Cop pulled me over. I was 2 miles on a 10-mile run. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Giving hand jobs for
I'm
crack."
running.
What the
Yeah.
you think I'm doing? Turns out giving hand jobs for crack is the wrong answer to say to a cop ever. But long story short, if I want to go for that early morning run so that I'm a better person, something has to give. So my daughter her bedtime's 8:00. I'm out by 8:30 every night, and I don't miss it. And if you want to stay up till 1 a.m. browsing Facebook or Instagram or watching Netflix, that's fine. I'm not judging you for that. I'm judging you if you see me post in my Instagram story my morning run route, you go, "God, I wish I could do that." Bitch, you can. Here's what you have to give up. Right? That's what I'm judging you for. So it's like, you do you, but own it.
It's a lot more uncomfortable to own it, though, because that means that we've got to be honest with ourselves.
Of course.
If I'm going to own it, yeah, I would much rather lie to myself and pretend like I could accomplish all these things. If only I had the time.
And let's be honest about it. Do you honestly think that I want to get up every single morning at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and work out? No. And there are days that I don't. Right? I pay for that, but there are days that I don't. But on the flip side, I try to make it as easy as possible. I fall asleep in my gym clothes. I fall asleep in a pair of bike shorts and a t-shirt. I wake up in the morning, I strap on a heart rate monitor and my socks. My shoes are attached to the bike. The bike is 6 inches from my bed, right? Before I'm even awake and aware of what I'm doing, I'm pedaling. And once you're pedaling, you're not going to quit. The downside, I've had to explain that in the past to women who might be coming over for the first time, like, "Hey, I'm coming to bed. I'm just putting on my shorts." Putting on your shorts. Yeah, long story. But if I had to think about exercising in the evening, there's no way in God's green earth I'd ever do it. I'd be walking home from the office or walking my, I'd stand up in my apartment. Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym now. Oh, there's an asteroid orbiting Pluto. Just to be safe, I think I'm gonna skip this workout. You never know. Right? It's like I will come up with a reason to quit. So if I wake up first thing in the morning, I don't have to think about it, and that just makes life so much easier. Get it done.
So I have a question for you. So one of the things we want to accomplish is looking at defeating bad decision making by pulling sort of the collective wisdom from people from a lot of different walks of life, and this is fascinating. And so what I'm hearing is that one of the things you can do is to increase dopamine. If you have ADHD, I think it'd be helpful either way. But what decisions do you have to make to be able to do that on a systematic basis? It sounds like this exercise. I mean, you can't go skydiving every day.
No, I can't. But
right.
I can take the elevator down to the lobby and walk back up to the 60th floor, or I take the elevator to 40 and walk up back to the 60th floor. Right. So those 20 flights are going to give me the same hit. Right. I can, if I'm outside of a meeting in an office somewhere, I can find a corner and drop for 50 push-ups or 20 jumping jacks or something. It does not take much to increase that hit in your brain. It really doesn't. It takes very, very little. You could do it. I know people who do it with deep breathing.
So when you talked about isolating yourself on a flight to Tokyo so you could write, but doesn't that run counter to the dopamine rush that you're trying? How are you getting a dopamine rush and allow yourself to focus when you isolate?
So one of the things about ADHD is hyperfocus, right? And if my brain understands that for the next 14 hours, I'm locked in a metal tube, I can't leave, right? I can't pretty much do anything, right? There's internet, but it's United. And so even that's spotty at best, right? There's nothing I can really do to distract myself. I will enter that zone of hyperfocus where, I mean, think about it. I'm sitting at a desk. I'm at a desk. I'm plugged in. I have someone bringing me Diet Coke every half hour, right? I stand up every 90 minutes to go pee and do 10 deep knee bends just to get the blood flowing. And that's it. There's nothing else to do. You lock yourself into that. The problem with ADHD, or the where ADHD is a negative, is when I have a job to do or a project to do or something that's on deadline and someone gives me something else to do. Because when you're ADHD, the thing that's in front of you is the most important thing until the next thing that's in front of you. Right. Yeah. And so I schedule everything. Everything's in a calendar. This call, is in the calendar. It's locked off. No one else can see it. But so when I'm at my computer here right now, my phone is on silent and it's flipped over because otherwise, ooh, What's that? Text. We actually get dopamine hits every time we get a text or reply or a like, which is why it's so addictive. But that's negative. That's a negative hit for me because, oh, someone liked my thing. Let's look. It's 4 hours later and I haven't, I'm still on my phone, right? So on the plane, there's nothing that can distract me. I can go to work. And once you start typing, once you start writing, you'll get into that hyperfocus. The only way hyperfocus fails is if something else takes over. And if there's nothing to take over for 14 hours, that's 14 hours of writing.
Yeah. The other day I was sitting at my computer and I realized that I had 10 open emails, all with about a sentence and a half completed. And I went, oh my gosh, what the hell am I doing? Like, I got to finish an email, hit send, and then move on to the next one.
I do the when I'm working at home and I have that, I do the 45-10-5 rule. 45 minutes of no interruptions. So I have no alerts. I never have alerts on my phone. The only alert I have is my daughter's number, my parents' number, and my daughter's mom's number. Those three numbers can interrupt me, right? So because it might be urgent. Everyone else either goes to, if they go to voicemail, and on my voicemail it says, please don't leave me a voicemail, send me a text. So 45 minutes of hard work, 10 minutes of looking at my phone, answering my email, and then 5 minutes to go to the bathroom, stretch, do squats, whatever. And then I repeat that process. That's how I handle days when I'm in the office. But the key is, your phone can do so much for you, but the key is not to become a slave to it. You have to control your phone, not the other way around. And 99% of the people out there let their phones control them. Right? A beep. It's why so many people are idiots and text and drive. They know that texting and driving is eventually going to get them killed. But someone liked my post. Dopamine hit. And that is a really strong addiction. Don't ever question that.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a personal injury attorney. He said, texting and driving is 25% more, or 25 times more dangerous than drunk driving.
No question about it. Because you think you're in control.
And yet people do it. Yeah. So I found, Sanger, when you and I went and decided to do we were creating some content, doing some writing, and we did sort of without knowing, sort of took that advice that you talked about, is we went to Florida and, there, at a house on the beach, just set. So we were away from our office, away from home distractions, away from, people we knew, and all we had to do all day is write. And we got a lot done. So I think kind of taking that focus is
coming
probably
back,
super
we didn't get anything done.
No, we came back and we had all these commitments and we were going to get stuff done, and we weren't near as productive.
Yeah. I find that so I set up rules for myself. Look, resolutions fail, right? January 1st, I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. No, you're not. Because you're going to go for like 4 days and you're not going to see results and you're going to quit. Rituals, however, succeed. The ritual of I'm going to force myself to get to sleep by 9 p.m. every day this week, just for 1 week. And then if I do it, I can do it again next week. But, and over time, if I go to sleep every day at 9 p.m., I'll be able to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym 3 days a week. So I just want to go to the gym 3 days a week by going to sleep. That's a ritual. Rituals work. Rituals lead to success over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's why between January 1st and January 15th, you don't want to go to the gym because it's so goddamn crowded, and after January 15th, it's empty again. So what I've learned is I put these 4 life rules into place. And when I follow these 4 life rules, my life is better. When I don't follow these 4 life rules, my life is not better. And they're very simple. Exercise every day. That's the first rule. Getting enough sleep, sleeping early, and getting up early is rule number 2. Elimination of choice. I have in my closet, I have 2 sides to my closet, and it's actually labeled. The left side says office/travel, and it's t-shirt and jeans. And the right side says speaking/TV, and it's button-down shirts, jackets, and jeans. That's it. My suits, my gorgeous Yom Kippur suits, my vests, my sweaters, the things that people give me, those are in my daughter's closet. Because if I had to go in every day and say, okay, what should I wear today? Oh my God, this sweater. I remember this sweater. Laura gave me this sweater. God, I haven't talked to Laura in forever. I wonder how she's doing. It's 3 hours later. I'm naked in the living room on Facebook and I haven't left the house. Right? So you put that rule into play. Alexa, what's my schedule today? Okay, you have 2 meetings, an interview. You're not going on TV. You're not doing whatever. Great. T-shirt and jeans. That's it. So eliminate choice as much as humanly possible. I intermittent fast. Not because it's healthy, which it really is. I mean, you can lose a ton of weight intermittent fasting, but because when I'm walking my daughter, or when my daughter and I take the scooter to school and I'm scooting back home after I've dropped her off, I probably pass 20 to 30 delis, each one making a better bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup than the one before. And if I am not on an intermittent fast, I will stop at one of them and I will get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese, lettuce, with salt, pepper, ketchup on a roll. And that's what, 700-800 calories right there. Or I'm on an intermittent fast where my first meal is not till 2 p.m., at which point I'm just about to go pick up my daughter. So I will have a salad prepared and I can eat that on the way. And it's a lot healthier. But again, you eliminate the ability to do something, right? If I look at my clock and it's not between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., I don't eat, right? And it's very, very simple. Again, war games, the only winning move is not to play. So I know what time I eat. I know what time I don't eat. And it breaks it down in like third grade logic, but the shit works.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices that we have to make that I think people, people aren't even aware of, right? Like getting dressed in the morning isn't something that people understand is a choice, and it's taking energy. So I started wearing nothing but white shirts, blue jackets, and khaki pants. And if it's cold, I have my vest on like I have right now.
Yep.
Easy. I got my work uniform.
Yeah, Steve Jobs wore the turtlenecks not to make a statement because it was easy. Grabbed it, put it on, you're done.
Yes. Yeah. Get 10 of the shirts that look exactly identical to one another.
100%.
And I'm good.
I collect t-shirts. People send me t-shirts all the time. I just put one on, I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So other than those choices, are there higher level choices that you feel like were important in making sure that you're able to manage your neurodiversity?
So I have an assistant who actually took Right Access away from my calendar about 11 years ago. I went to put it in my calendar about 11 years ago and it wouldn't let me. And I emailed her. I'm like, Megan, something's wrong. I can't put anything in my calendar. She's like, no, it's working perfectly. You no longer have access to it. You no longer have right access to it. And I'm like, what? Why? She goes, you booked 2 dinners on the same night. I'm like, that's a little overreaction. That's not a big enough. She goes, you booked them on separate continents. You're done. And I have not had access to my calendar for 11 years. The only access I have is I have a Calendly, right? Because Calendly won't allow you to book something if something's already booked, right? And I block out certain times. My 3 a.m. to 8:30 when I get her to school is blocked out, and my 2:30 to 8 when I'm with her is blocked out. Everything else is open. But yeah, I am very much about employing people as much as you can for the shit that you're not good at. I have a wonderful cleaning woman who's currently working in the back there. She comes once a week. Her name is Bertha. I could easily clean my own apartment, but A, I'm not good at it. B, I know I wouldn't do it. And C, I wouldn't do as good of a job, right? You figure out the things you're great at and you do those, and you try to outsource every other possible conceivable thing. It turns out I'm a really good cook. I had no idea until I started cooking. And so now, but I'm not gonna, I might get her home. We might cook together once a week, but more often than not, I'm gonna cook a bunch of shit on Sunday, put it in the fridge, or the freezer, and nuke it when that way we're having healthy dinners. We're not ordering in and eating the entire pizza. Again, I think at the end of the day, it's really just about figuring out what works for you and then sticking to it. That's the worst part. I could come up with the greatest rules in the world. If I don't have the consistency to follow them, nothing matters. After my first Ironman, I wanted to do a second one, and I got a little complacent. I'm like, I did this already. How hard could it be? Well, it was 104 degrees at the start of the swim, and only got hotter. It was in Louisville, Kentucky. I won't even fly over Louisville after that. So I got the Ironman tattoo, the little dot, M dot on your calf, and mine is an upside down M dot, shaded out with a right side up M dot shaded the correct colors on the right below it, and on either side are the words consistency and humility. Without consistency and humility, all the plans in the world aren't going to do shit for you.
Yeah, especially in Ironman, there's no chance. There's no chance to accomplish that and to cross the finish line without being diligent and consistent with your training.
You can fake an Olympic, you can fake a sprint, you can fake an Olympic. Hell, I'm even in the belief that you could probably, with just minimal work, fake a half. But you're not faking a full.
Yeah.
You're not faking a full.
No, there's no chance. Yeah, there were I did 2 Ironmans last year, 3 weeks apart from each other.
Jesus.
And yeah.
What's wrong with you, dude?
It was psychotic.